So, I'm officially dubbing this day the day of protest. Why? Because first, the day started off when I got down here to downtown off the train. You saw at the beginning of the last video. Start off with abortion abolition protests on the side of a bank. Then it went to Freedom Convoy protest supporters later in the day, and also anti-Freedom Convoy protest supporters. And now it's gone to fanatical Christian extremist protests.
Jesus Christ never said stay away. Jesus Christ never said get away from me. He never said that. He never said get away from me.
Holy Moses. So, Tweedledee and Tweedledum, special constables over there, just, I just had a delightful little chat with them. Oh god, yep, well, I can't escape the copyright on that one. It'll get claimed either way. I mean, again, don't care about the claiming. Let's hope there ain't a strike. So, my phone is right now at, 26%. So I'll definitely have to plug it in at certain intervals throughout the rest of the night until I, oh. Wow, okay. Bell Media, there's a CTV News broadcasting station right there. Huh. I know there was one in Toronto that was in the Scarborough district, but I've never been that close to a news station, at least in my recollection. I've never been that close to a news station. It doesn't really matter. Anyway, let me just go over here. Oh, it's empty, and the place isn't open, so I'm sure it won't be that much of an issue. First of all, I'm just going to say, this is Byward Market, this area. So with what charge I have, I'm going to take you around here and just talk. I don't know how long this episode in the series is going to be. It's now a little past... Well, little. It's... Never mind, it's almost a whole hour past midnight. And this area of the downtown is still bustling quite a bit. But anyway, I'm feeling a little, dreary, sluggish, not terrible amounts. I only got about 3 hours of sleep last night. But hopefully, are you coming back around to harass me? No? Okay, goodbye, officers. Anyway, I got about 3 hours sleep, so let's hope my, cerebrum can just, retain whatever, what's the awake chemical for that stimulates the reticular activating system. Melatonin is the sleep one. Lonin something. It begins with an M as well. Let's hope it has enough of that stored to keep me awake. Anyway, so I was just standing at the entrance to one of the transit stations for the train system of Ottawa. And I was standing there for about, well, pretty well an hour and a half. So what happened actually, the first clip that'll be in this video is of well, it was of the Christian extremist protesters. They have the right to protest, as far as I'm concerned. All I'm going to say about that, but my God, it was annoying. And then I actually got on a bus, went down to the Veneer district, and handed my resume to the Playmate strip club. Apparently I mixed up the dates of when the manager told me to come. I thought they said come on a Friday. They actually said come on a Tuesday or Wednesday. I mixed it up. Apparently they said last time try not to come on a Friday because it'll be busier. But they have my resume now, so anyway. Then I got on another bus. I'm back here in the Byward area of the downtown portion. And I went to the station, was trying to charge my phone because it was dying. Got it up to about 19% when two special constable police officers walked in and were like, "Hey buddy, how's it going?" You know, the fake like the fake compassion and the fake like interest in like how I'm doing. I was like, "Oh, fine, I'm fine. I'm just charging my phone here." And they're like, "Yeah, okay, no issue." They said specifically, "No issue, not a problem. You're all right. So it goes by. I let some other people actually use my portable charger to charge their vape pen because they had a electric vape pen, battery powered. But then when my phone gets to maybe about like 24% or so, or 25, the special constable police come back in, and they tell me, "Hey, you almost done charging your phone?" Or they ask me that, and I say, "Yeah." I didn't say yeah. I said yeah to like after they asked more questions. God, sorry, brain fog. I said, no, it's just I'm at 25%, so yeah. They then, when I told them that, they just they told me that okay, well, we'll give you about 5 more minutes to charge your phone and then you gotta leave. And I was like, "Oh, is the station closing?" They're like, no, it's open for a few more hours. And they just said, though, this is there's a no loitering policy for areas of the station, and also this is just a bad look. And so I asked, "What do you mean by a bad look?" And they're like, "Well, you standing here charging your..." Nothing I love more than easily agitated drivers and drunk-ass teenagers. Anyway, what is my percent now? 22. Yeah, I'm definitely gonna have to walk and charge this. Anyway, so they told me it's just, they specifically used the words, "it's setting a bad precedent." it's just like it's setting a bad image. As you standing here looking like just like you're charging your phone or whatever, it's inviting people, other people, to sleep in here. We've had situations where people are sleeping in here. Great, that'd actually be better. Anyway, they just said we've had people sleeping here, we've had to shoot them away, or we've just had to ask them to leave, escort them out. Keep in mind, I don't think they had security cameras. They were in the area before. I've seen special constables just patrolling all around here. So I don't think the management or the owners or the operators of that station actually called them in to say, please tell this guy to leave. And if they did, well, fuck them, they're assholes. Anyway, also, just to take a moment to say, special constables, another form of pointless policing. I mentioned in the last video how I literally just, I'd been seeing when I got to the Parliament Hill area, I've been noticing certain police that were specifically for protecting the property of Parliament Hill. They were called the Parliamentary Protective Service Police, the PPS. Pointless, unnecessary branch of police. Same with special constables. From everything I've looked up about special constables ever since I've heard of them, which is like 2 years ago, I see no point in them. They do very little different than the standardized city police force, which I already think is encroaching enough and heavily problematic and full of corruption. So, yeah, a very pointless branch of police. The most they do, I guess, is patrol specific areas for more, I guess, more busy areas or more touristy areas and more entertainment districts I've seen of cities from what I've looked up. It's kind of what it was in Toronto as well, but anyway, they just basically said, yeah, we'll give you 5 more minutes and then you gotta leave because you're setting a bad example, basically. Just trying to I wasn't trying to warm up, but just taking some time to charge my phone. Yeah. By the way, loitering policies, in pretty well every regard, are pointless, in my opinion, and also are a direct attack on the homeless. Just as how I feel, what was the other one? It's the other direct attack on homeless. I mentioned it, I think, in one of my, might have been the first video of this journey when I was in Toronto. God, what was it? Oh, it's on the tip of my tongue. Let me give myself a minute to think about it. Got it, remembered it, just remembered it. It was in the Peterborough videos I talked about it. It wasn't in Toronto. It was the whole not being able to use health cards as like official ID. That. And not being able to pay by cash for checking into motels or hotels. That is also a direct attack on the homeless. Because the majority of that is what many of them have. Only those 2 options. So yeah, that sucked, but no time like the present to just take you around Byward, because this day has turned into something else, as they usually seem to do, or at many points seem to do. The Playmate Strip Club was the only place that I ended my resume to today. Yeah. Okay. Let's get to walking. Alright, so, I'm assuming from what it looks like that a lot of the shops around here are open much later into the night, considering the fact that, well, this is like a major tourist hub for Ottawa. As, well, I think you can tell. But, yeah, I just had a gaggle of 4 people shout at me, 4 months, not 4 months, 4 days, solid, lest we forget. I think you all know what they're referring to. I will also have a video, you know what, I've been pondering this as well. I will have a video in relation to No Nut November, and my thoughts on the whole movement in a bit, or at some point this month, hopefully. So there's a lot of very interesting shops, it looks like, down here. I saw some on the map, on Google Maps. There are many restaurants, but it's got also a lot of fashion stores, certain intervals. There's other interesting cultural things. I'm sorry if my word finding issues are bad, or if I'm kind of muddling my sentences, because I've been having some dysphagia, which is where you're incorrectly structuring sentences in your articulation. That is quite neat. Oh my god. Oh, a street performer. They have a speaker that is incredibly loud, and you can hear it from all the way over there. That is damn interesting. Holy hell. Okay. Ah. Of course. I guess that might just be a theme with major metropolitan areas in Canada. Toronto had the same thing. Just a giant display sign of its name. Damn nice country music. Unfortunately, I don't have any cash on me at the moment. If there's an ATM, maybe I can try and give them some, but that's not me assuming that they're struggling. It's just, I don't know, they have their case open as if they're looking for tips. So, yeah, I'm just kind of taking this all in. It's very nice. But I'm also wondering, where the hell am I going to sleep tonight? Well, there's a park up a ways past the market. That sounded like something shattered into quite a few pieces. And yeah, I guess that'll be fine. That should be fine enough. And if not, I can try sleeping on Parliament's property, and then promptly be kicked off probably by the PPS. Because of course. That's nice. So remember, I think, okay, so I said this in the 7th part of Exploring Ottawa. I said at a certain point relating to Ottawa's geography that there's a lot of, at certain points there's more prevalence on Indigenous Canadian culture. Certain areas. Now, I think I forgot to mention that, in my opinion, a lot of it is not from what the city puts into it, it's not well maintained, or at the very least, it's performative. Oh, big surprise! The Canadian government is very dishonest and uncaring when it comes to actually like accepting other forms of life that are not problematic. Anyway, Barn Kit. Whoa, they got an interesting performance going on in there. Maybe I'll check that place out. You know, maybe I can actually charge my phone in there. There is a either long lineup or just gaggle of people back here. I am literally walking, I don't know why I'm... Oh yes, arrows indicating where the giant electronic, like, blindingly bright Ottawa sign is. As if, I mean, without those arrows, I would have been lost. I would not have been able to find that. It's very well hidden. Oh my god. There are things I can talk about here, relating to a bunch of stuff running through my mind. I'm tired though right now. I don't think I should be... Well, it's not that I shouldn't be, it's just talking about it, it's just, well, I'll try my best to collect my thoughts. Maybe I'll get a spurt of energy. And the melatonin will just dissipate somewhat. I could talk about, I mentioned, I guess it relates to something in the last video, the abolitionist protests that were by the bank near Queen Street. Could talk about that. Could go more in depth on my, well, I've already gone into a lot of how I feel about policing, but how it's really failed, I guess, in pretty well all the world, and how I don't know how people are still just completely living in a fantasy and delusional to think that that the way policing is done actually prevents crime. It doesn't. It increases it tenfold. And even when it doesn't, it does little to stop it at points. Now, can it be helpful at times? Yes, but anyway, you know what? I'm gonna go in there, charge my goddamn phone, actually get it charged, and yeah, then figure out what to do from there. Okay, you know what I'm gonna do for this one? You know what I'm gonna do? Instead of me yammering on about what I usually yammer on about with many things, politics, psychology, neurology, sociology, art, all that shit, I'm gonna let this area just, you know what, speak for itself. So yeah, this area really, this bar here piqued my interest very much. I paid the admission fee, but unfortunately I'm too young to enter, so well, I'm just standing here, I guess. I'm just gonna let this, yeah, you know what, I'm gonna shut up. I'm gonna shut up.
inches or a foot, which is about yay big, whereas 6 inches is about yay big. That's about half the difference.
That's pressure trees.
Indoor voice.
9 minutes. Wait.
Listen.
When you're talking to fishermen, it's always this fucking big.
Is that our party be lied to about how many inches? It's too far.
It's staying at my house.
They're not so much.
No, you're
It's
too far.
Look it up.
We live.
Too far. Staying up like 2 hours.
Just text your mama and say that you are stuck.
You work for EFO.
The other place our fishery has like 11 p.m. Like they're not even gonna be awake for so long.
They're all
You have to get like, so if I take the bus at 9, then I'll get home.
Okay, let's go.
I'll get home by like
I mean, it's not a issue for me. It's okay.
Okay, let. Ronnie, du more partage.
That's like a
Sorry.
We were watching you guys and they're like, yo, they keep dropping the ball and then they keep firing the ball at each other. Yeah. We were like, you see
Sorry.
it? Fucking tell me.
Well, tonight was pretty fucking amazing. I'm very exhausted right now. It is 3:27 a.m. I'm, as you can tell, closer to Parliament Hill, closer to Chateau Laurier, or Laurier Chateau, whatever the fuck that hotel is called. And I'm at a Veterans Memorial Park. Or I guess it might be just, at least the structure itself might just be called, like the statues, and the wall work over here might just be called In the Service of Peace, which logically I don't agree that's actually what it was, but nonetheless I'm not gonna. Okay, I believe soldiers of war are lied to, and have been lied to throughout all of history, as if dying for your country is some honorable thing, or invading other countries in a either hairline thin or completely useless and unneeded attempt at trying to protect your country, when in reality you would be doing so much more protection of your country if you were staying within your country's borders, and defending it in your homeland. But in terms of physical armed engagement and violence, but whatever. I'm going to try and sleep here tonight in this little this little hill patch, and yeah, see how that goes. Or maybe I could check. Nah, it's too visible from the road. Yeah, a few things I guess I'll say before signing off. I know I didn't talk barely at all in this one, but I think that's a good thing. Just, letting you people out there and myself take in the environment a little better, with just some silence. What should I say? Okay, firstly, I hope tomorrow goes a lot better with me handing out some fucking resumes. Searching for a job, occupation. Secondly, I guess I'll address this. I don't know why in my what was it, in the second Exploring Ottawa video, when I was in the section where I was talking about methods to try and test whether you are addicted to pornography or not, and just methods for you to actually help you enjoy pornography better, at least from my point of view. I was talking about something I had learned, like, with this, what the actual size of the clitoris is. This is so odd to bring up now. I don't know why. I said something like, and I'm not afraid to admit that, like, I didn't know that. I said it off the cuff. I think I was trying to make a point, like, because there are, unfortunately, there are a lot of men who are insecure about their, like, they're insecure about their masculinity, and also they're insecure about their, I guess it can be from a heterosexual or bisexual or pansexual perspective. Any one of those, anyway, usually from straight males, are insecure about their abilities with women, which, are you gonna drag race? No. What a surprise. Anyway, I was saying it as a point, like, I guess, just to, I don't know what I think I was trying to make a point about, you shouldn't be afraid to, ow, ow, ow. What the hell was that? Okay. Don't know if the camera picked it up, but there were two bright flashes, either above a car or from that building over there. Oh, whatever. Too tired to care. I was trying to make a point, I guess, like, you shouldn't be afraid to admit when you're wrong or that you don't know something, no matter how someone else's perception of you may be altered, or how it may make you look, weak or insecure or naive in another person's eyes, which I always have thought, as long as I've held beliefs in mind similar to that, I've thought that, but I think you know what I'm getting on about. Anyway, I don't know why the way I worded it made me sound, no, it didn't. I did sound very, as if I was very insecure, which, well, I can say I'm not. It's just the way I worded it was really stupid. I don't know why that popped in my mind. I think it kind of correlated with, like, because I mean, I was trying to explain a method better, so relating to, well, sexology in a sense, so I thought I'd clear that up, and as usual, I just address things from stuff I've said before. What else? Oh yeah, I recently looked back at that skit I made about the world in 18 minutes. I made a joke in there that I realized now sounds a bit contradicting. It was my joke for South Africa. I said something along the lines of, hey, at least they gave us Tesla, even though I despise Tesla. And I even, in my first part of this series, I talked about environmentalism and how I think, even though I am logically an environmentalist, I think people like Elon Musk and, Elon Musk and people like Justin Trudeau are complete frauds when it comes to actually trying to preserve and keep care of the environment as best as possible. Same with Joe Biden. An absolute bigoted idiot. Don't worry, that's not me rallying support for Trump. He's even worse, in my opinion. They both suck. They're both ultra-capitalist, fascists, or fascistic bureaucrats that are power-hungry, histrionic, care about ratings, and just don't care about their citizens. Anyway, I made a joke about, like, hey, at least they gave us Tesla. looking back, that was more meant to be a bit of a more of a sarcastic joke, I guess, but with the time I had, it just didn't come off very well. And two, even I didn't really address this in the first part of this series. When I was talking about environmentalism and about why I think it is actually needed, and how I was knocking Tesla for literally greenwashing, as it's called, seemingly helping the environment with their electric cars, but in reality, the way that they're produced and manufactured are just well, it creates so much pollution in and of itself. Same goes for a multitude of other car companies that are switching to fully electric vehicles, not even hybrids mainly, which overall hybrids are better for the environment if you're taking into account the production. But what I meant, and I also talked about solar power and how there's iffy issues with the materials they use for it that can be hard to find, like harnessed, and well, also how they're produced, again, can cause just as much damage to the environment. They use a lot of gas guzzling things to actually create them. But that being said, I probably should mention the products themselves aren't, once they're made, them in essence aren't bad for the environment. Like solar power or electric vehicles, using wind power, using water power, turbines and things like that, or water flow systems to try and create sustainable energy and things like that. However, when it comes to Tesla and a lot of solar power panels, the way they're made is the main issue. Is that, yeah, they might not be doing any more harm to the environment once they're created, but how they're created is equally as detrimental, if not in some cases, I guess, could be more than, well, even like the cars that take, well, vehicles that take diesel and gasoline, and using heavy petroleum. But either way, I don't think people realize this as well, is we may be forced to just so one, we gotta find a better method of, I said this in that video, we gotta find a better method of making those. Shouldn't just give up. But also, we may just, as the human race, we may have to, we may have to go to renewable energy of some kind, or find some sort of different source of engineering power than renewable energy or fossil fuels, because if the renewable energy that we have right now is not reliable for the environment or the climate, it's aiding in climate change. Well, on top of that, it has been pretty well statistically proven that over the last few decades, at least last I've researched, that the world is running out of oil. Oil, people in this world think that resources are just infinite. They're not. And oil is no exception. There have been dry-ups of oil patches across the globe, or petroleum and other natural gases, or natural fuel product, like fuel elements to make fuel. At least from everything I've seen. Yeah, there's still a boatload in certain areas, but compared to what it used to be, the world is drying up of petroleum and things of the sort. So we may just have to find a better method, whether that's renewable energy or something fucking completely different. So yeah, it's not gonna last forever. Anything else? I I was gonna talk about some other stuff, but no. You know what? I'm tired. I'll go to sleep. Yeah. Today was the most, strangely the most amazing and like, well, yeah, actually, this has been the best day I've had in a while. Strangely the most amazing and weird, confusing day. Like, let me actually break this down, what I did in one day. And I guess you could say this for, like, my entire journey so far. Not like I'm bragging about that. Don't take that out of context. As this has been hell on earth in multitude more regards. But just today, I left from where I've been staying in the Orleans district, came over here via train, walked out to the Parliament area, encountered someone who was very much in psychological distress, ranted about the pointless police forces that so much of the world has, and here specifically the PPS and the SC. Walked all the way down trying to get to the Westboro district and ended up sitting in and listening to one of the hearings, the court hearings for the de facto leader of the Freedom Convoy that happened in February or January of 2022 here in Canada, in the capital, being presenting or on trial, or basically going against the Canadian, trying to assess whether the Canadian government should have enforced the Emergencies Act. And that's been going on. It started, I saw news that it started like a few days ago or so, or maybe a week ago, but I didn't know that it was being held right down there. I thought it would be actually held in like a more actual government administration building. Not to say like the archival library, it's obviously part of it's an archives of Canadian history, and I'd assume if it's a library as well, some prominent Canadian authors. I'm pretty sure that that's run by a sector of the Canadian government. But anyway, I just didn't expect it to be there. I didn't expect to sit in on it. Yeah. And then I came all the way back over here. I actually talked to a very nice girl today who was addicted to crack, and she didn't have enough money to actually get back to get a bus ticket to see her child and mother in Orleans, and her mother is a complete, well, from what it sounds like, a narcissistic sociopath. But very nice girl though, very nice. Enjoyed talking with her. And then getting on a bus down to the Playmate strip club, putting my resume in there, coming back here, going through Byward Market. This is an amazing place. You know, I'm just like the Princess Louise waterfalls in Orleans. I'm gonna make this a spot to come back to for me. Try to, at least. Hopefully. Okay, good night.